Hey y'all, I'm Kiki Hunter.
What's good, people? I'm Mark Hunter.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
the
the
Hunt
Hunt
Life
Life
Podcast.
Podcast.
We created this podcast to give a real view of life as millennials navigating the world.
Real life discussions about the struggles our generation go through from family, love, and everyday life.
What's good, people? Hunt here.
Hey y'all, it's Kiki.
Welcome to the Hunt Life Podcast, episode 28.
28.
Yeah, 28. The one before the break.
Yep.
We are finna take a slight break, y'all, but we coming back for season 2. We ain't going nowhere. We just gonna take a quick little break so we can get prepared, shake things up so we can come with something different for season 2. But this is number 28, the last of this season. If you've been rocking with us all 28 episodes, gonna let us know in the comment section.
And thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, that too, that part. Yeah, man, because I know it's been a little long, been a little bit
Been a
rough,
ride.
but
Been a
hey,
ride.
we here. It's episode 28. How
Ain't
was
gonna
your
get no more authentic and raw than this. I tell
real
you that.
tea? Real tea. So, what's something you learned over the past week?
Um, Rest and be still and be okay with it.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And help to do that to you. You've been sick and stuff. I now feel back up a good. I could say good 95%. I'm there.
Well, hey, you better than.
Yeah.
Ain't with that 5% ain't nothing.
No, that 5% is like that. You feel that 5% a little bit, just enough.
Yeah, just a tad.
But that's cool. I'm learning to rest and take my days off. Breaks are important, so that's why we were taking a break
Hmm.
to recruit and we trying to practice it. So y'all should practice it too.
Oh yeah, cause we still got talking up in this. This ain't cause it's 28 hours of talking. That don't mean we finished. We ain't like the rest of them. We can still talk
Yeah,
with
no,
new
it's just a
topics, same
prioritizing
topics. It's
rest
just.
and break and honing in on some stuff that we want to bring y'all next season.
Hmm.
Um,
Besides, we done gave y'all 28 hours already of information. So it's like give y'all some time to digest it. We ain't the internet. We want y'all to digest some of the stuff we be talking about because we be talking about some real stuff, and some stuff might go over your head. So I
take
mean,
time out, go through the old
mm-hmm,
episodes. So just everybody take a breather. Just take a breather.
mm-hmm.
What about you?
Enjoy the good times.
Mm,
I had
mm.
a pretty cool Father's Day, hanging out with the kids, hanging out with my wife. We went to go see the Soul Circus,
Yeah,
so that was pretty cool.
it was. I've never been, so it was my first time experiencing that.
So yeah, I went when I was much younger. So it was pretty cool to take my kids and take my wife to go see something that I seen when I was younger. And especially since it was much different than what it was when I was younger. So it's a cool little memory to have.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but besides that, just taking it easy and enjoy all the good times and enjoy the bad times because you never know. So those are the memories. It's always about creating memories,
it is. It's the
especially when you're a
memories.
father. You
Yeah.
most definitely want to create these memories and remember these memories. Well, that's what a memory is, remembering it. But like, yeah, you want to be present in the moment and all that, and
Yeah,
making sure that you're making like fun for your kids
yeah,
and having fun as a family, especially as a unit. So like, yeah, just cherishing those moments.
yeah.
But episode 28, we finna go on get into it. Episode 28, can't read your mind. That's what it's gonna be about. Reading each other mind, especially in the marriage thing. Like we can't read each other mind. Like if you got a problem, I don't know if you have a problem until you tell me you got a problem.
That's true, but I think this household does it so well.
It's kind of cap too though. Cause I could tell if you got something going on, but if you ain't gonna tell me it's something wrong with you, I'm gonna just continue to move on, moving and grooving like
But
I'm
here,
doing.
see that
You're
in
an
this
adult. You better open up your mouth and tell me what's wrong. unless you just like, because you know how females get.
Wow, we're going there.
It's part of reading your mind.
Mm.
Because some of the time, like, it be that whole, like, all right, fam, this day 2. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, I see what Ike was talking about when he was like, he told Tina that she was like running around here with the
Don't Mark
attitude, and then it's like
Anthony.
day 3. Did he like, man, she all over here, she fine, and she telling you what's wrong? It's like, I understand where he coming from, but you can't be out here
Dude.
beating on your women though. But they will run around here with an attitude 3 days strong. Like, bro, like, grow up. Like, speak your mind. Like, dang.
Because it's like you get I guess it comes from a complacency. I don't think women is the only people that do. Y'all do that too. Y'all just do it in different ways. But y'all, you expect me to read your mind. I'm like, but I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're talking about. You gotta say it. Like, it's a thing. So I don't think it's just a woman thing. But you get
No, it's the attitude
complacent.
part about the
The
reading your
attitude.
mind is what I'm talking
Because
about, the
I
woman
think you
thing.
can be able to you get complacent, like we've been together long enough, like so, like you said, it's something wrong with me. But sometimes y'all don't. Like we just had a situation with the podcast, and I was like, either he real stupid, or
And I don't get how I'm stupid. Like, I feel
or
like,
he really don't understand. Like, because he just thought I was still not feeling well. He was just like, you're not feeling because I've been sick. So I was like, either he playing stupid to a T, or he really is like, it's
because I
not
wouldn't
on
think
his
that
radar
you,
that I'm upset,
yeah, because
right?
I didn't think
And
that you would be upset about the podcast stuff.
so, what? It's just that you had
You
no
was here with
inkling that
me.
I was upset in general.
Yeah, but you was here with me. You seen the stuff mess up. So it's
Yeah,
like,
but we
yeah, for
had
you to have a dry ass attitude with me, because I just said, well, just screw it. We'll go on break. Well, we having technical difficulties.
yeah, but we bring it back the next day, and I was like, okay, well,
Yes, and I said, let's just go on a break because of the technical
exactly, and that
difficulties.
irritated me because I'm like,
Bro,
you
we
not
was
dry
sick.
doing nothing. You was
Bro, it
dry
don't
doing
matter.
nothing.
We just was sick. We was just sick, and on top of us being sick, we still tried to push through and drop an episode, and literally the sound messed up and the recording messed up. Bro, that was a sign. Like, I'm going off of the
It was something that
sign.
we should have did it the day that you originally said,
Yeah,
because you
but
originally
you
said let's
wanted
do
to
it
do it that
tomorrow,
day,
and
so
I
we
was
did it. And what happened? Shit
okay, but
messed
it
up.
got to the next day, and we still could have just remade it up in my
Yeah, but I didn't
mind.
want to talk about that again. So I'm like, I don't want to redo it. Like, that's what that was. I didn't want to redo it. But for you to have a whole attitude with me, and it's like I knew you was pissed, but I'm like, bro, like that's a childish reason to be pissed
No,
because of
it's
the
not.
podcast.
That was the surface level. So that's what I'm saying. This is why you can't expect people to read your mind. You can't expect your spouse to read your mind because it's surface level. You think it's just it's not. Mark,
Oh
this
no,
is the
it was just
thing.
the
No, it was
podcast.
not. Because the way he worked, once something inconveniences him, it's over. It don't matter what it is. He's throwing the entire thing away,
No, I
right?
didn't because I still got the recording from the
I'm not
sound.
saying literally, but I'm saying like whatever it is that irritated him, he done with it. Like
Yeah,
like
like because
he's
I'm not
done.
like I'm not
He's
finna
not
harbor over it.
revisiting. He's not. It's over. Like
If
once
it's important, then we'll go back over it. But
when he
again,
say important, like it got to be money on the line right then and there for it to be important. If
or
it's
it got to be
like
something to do with like the marriage, then all right, we can rehash this. But for the podcast, like I'm not no
in general
disrespect, like
working,
no disrespect,
working
y'all.
wise, because
We
we
fuck
work
with y'all.
together. So working, it don't matter because he does this in detailing, like not detailing y'all cars, but like generally speaking, if something has like inconvenienced him, he over it. Like he's mentally checked out. I'll say that
Yeah,
he's mentally checked out of it.
facts.
And so for me, I'm not that person. Like I can go back and regroup. I can leave it alone and then come
No,
back
I
and
can
regroup.
regroup. That don't mean that I don't mentally check out
He
of it.
is
I do.
mentally
I
done. Like
regroup, but it pisses me off. So I'm like, all right, I
is
can't
so
think
now
about
is
that right now.
but even coming back because we came back the next day.
Yeah, my
And you
mind
was
wasn't
still
made up. I mean, my mind was
Was
made
that's what
up.
I'm saying? Your
Like,
mom was still, and so you didn't recoup. You was
oh
out.
no,
You
I
mentally
recoup. I was
checked out.
fine. I mentally checked out of it because we
That's what
had
I'm
technical
saying.
difficulties.
So for me, it was that bothersome because it's like, okay, I know that you like that because that's the thing I think it comes from reading the mind. Like you can know your spouse, you can know when they're mentally checking out, you can know the things that's going to upset them. For the most part, we do good at piggybacking. So in the event that he mentally checks out, I'm usually the one to check in and I can like get it done
No, she
nine
the
times
one
out
that
of
want to
10.
go overboard.
It's not
Nah,
going
screw that. We
overboard.
finna do this now. No, we not. Like, I don't want to
More.
talk
It was
about
a
that.
whole 24 hours that had passed. You got to let it go. That's what's regrouping and coming back mean. You just thought you abandoned mission.
Yeah,
Like,
let's go on break like we said we was.
no. And he does that with everything. So in my mind, I'm like, you always do this, right? And that's making it hard for me to do my job. But he wouldn't know that because I never said that, right? And so he running around here like acting like he don't know I'm mad, and then I'm talking shit in my
No,
mind.
I knew you was mad. I didn't care that you was mad about the
Well,
podcast.
that's rude.
Well, because we had technical difficulties. Get out your feelings. It was technical
But it ain't
difficulties.
just
It
about
wasn't
you.
nothing that we could do about that.
It was because we're doing it now.
Yes, but it was the simple fact that we already talked for a whole 45 minutes and we have nothing to show for it but
That
sound.
you living in the past. You got to
Yes,
move
that was the
on.
past, and I did move on. I didn't want to
More.
do that no more. It
We
wasn't
could
no
have.
more bringing that episode back. So, are you saying
Okay.
was I harping on that one part of it? Yes, because I felt like it was a decent episode, and it was like it's no video proof of the episode.
Right.
So I'm like, bro, like let's just go on break. Now, the part that I did mess up about is for the simple fact of I didn't think about that because we are going on break for a couple of weeks. We needed the clips so we can be able to run clips throughout the whole entire session when we gone, so we don't like lose a little bit of the little bit of media presence that we do have. So it's like
I'm
that's
very
the part I
professional.
didn't think about. I was in my
Mark,
feelings about that part.
I'm on the timeline. And he don't understand. When I work, I work. Like, I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're tired. I don't like I'm one of them. I'm very hardcore. But I do understand that everybody's not like that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm good at regrouping and coming back. But it has to be a comeback. Ain't no just you just gonna
But
abandon
we
ship.
came back and I said that I didn't. You asked me what I wanted to do. I told you it's up to you, but I don't really care to do that
That you
episode
did not say
again.
it was up to me. You just was like, we going over. That was literally. See what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like reading my mind. So we went off on banter, y'all.
Nah, that
Stay
wasn't
focused.
banter. That was part of it though. That was talking about reading each other's mind because I felt like that you knew that I didn't want to do it no more.
I did.
Yeah, so you read my mind on that situation. I read your mind too.
You
I knew,
didn't
yes, I
because
did, because I didn't care. That doesn't mean I didn't read your mind. I told you I knew that you was pissed. I just feel like it was not
Mark,
a good valid to me. It
for
wasn't a valid
you
reason
can't tell me
for you to
my.
be pissed off at
See
me.
what I'm saying? But that's you can't decide that for me.
Actually, yes, I can
You
because
cannot. You can't tell me my reason is not good enough to be upset about it
yes,
because
I
it
can.
wasn't. No, you cannot.
Yes, I can
How can you tell
because
me
that's
how to
my
feel?
feelings.
No, those are my
No, your
feelings.
feelings is valid, but I'm telling you, your feelings doesn't matter at that moment. Like,
And this is where we had the problem, right?
because we were trying to read each other's minds. So instead of her just telling me that, you know what, that hurt my feelings that you didn't want to do this
It did because it
episode
didn't
again.
hurt my feelings. It pissed me
Apparently, it
off.
did. That's
No,
your feelings.
no, because
Pissed off
it
is a feeling,
wasn't
right?
Mark.
Pissed off is a feeling.
Right now,
See?
the point of the matter was I was going off in my mind because again, you're bringing it back to the podcast. I'm looking at it. You do this with everything. It's not just the podcast. It don't matter what it is where he mentally checks out if he's inconvenienced. At some point, that you'd be like he got the because y'all don't get to see that side. See, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody look at me like I'm the maniac, but homeboy is team don't care about nothing ever. So
I
if it
do care.
inconveniences him, it's really a wrap. Like it's like pulling teeth to bring him back. And for me, sometimes I'm like, that gets tiring, right? And in my mind, it wasn't just about the podcast. It's like, you're not, like I told him, you're not taking consideration the work that I have to do behind the scenes. You're affecting how I do my job. Like I can't do my part because you over what you sort like it's the whole thing. It's the bigger picture. It wasn't just a podcast. It was just like you do this in general. So I'm going back and forth with myself in my mind,
She's
being
having an argument
upset.
about me with herself
I,
instead of just
I
telling
was.
me
I really was. I
that
was having an argument with
she had
myself
a
about
issue with
him.
me.
And that's what okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's what it dawned on me to say, well, this
Going into day
conversation.
2, she's still having this argument about me with herself instead of telling me, like, including one of the main characters up in the
And
situation.
that's what dawned on me. I was like, girl, but we mad and like I'm really about to cuss him out, but then if I have this big loud outburst, it's like, but he gonna be confused because I never said that. Like, okay, you probably need to grow up and get over it because you can't be mentally checking out on everything. I never said that, and I didn't
She didn't say
explain. I
nothing,
didn't say
actually.
nothing,
Like,
and it
no,
had to
she
dawn on
never
me, like,
said
well,
nothing.
Key, how he know that you mad, right? Because he kept fucking with me all day. Like he kept messing with me
No, I wasn't.
all
I was
day.
doing what I normally do. I wasn't
And
doing
that
nothing
was
out
and
the.
that's what I'm saying. He
I
was
didn't do
messing with
nothing
me
out the
all
ordinary.
day. And I'm like, I'm mad. But it was just like this, it's this
No, you
gap
was still
period.
borderline
See, because
sick.
he said I'm sick. No, I was mad. I
No,
was
you was still
like,
sick. You still wasn't able to eat a lot of stuff. So you was sick
but
still.
that wasn't my problem. That my
To
problem
me,
was
that's what it was.
see you
Like,
can't
you was sick. I'm telling you what I was going through at that moment. You can't see. I'm not. Oh, so it's payback because
Mark.
I didn't care about your feelings. That you don't care about how I felt on that day. Wow.
The point was once I came to my own senses and realized that I was having an A-B conversation with me, myself, and I had never included the person I had an issue with
Mm-hmm.
in this equation. I had to bring myself back, and throughout our relationship, I've had to do that multiple times. Like, and I think I didn't realize I was doing it until Judge Taller, the voice court. I love her. She said it on some.
Judge Maybelline. That's
No,
the old
not
one.
no, not that throwback, not that far. Okay, just taller, like Lynn Taller. I love her because she just be dropping like a lot of cool like little gems, and I absolutely love it. And she said it. I think it could have been on Divorce Court, or it could have been like on couples counseling. Something I was watching hers, right? And she said, "How did you ever tell him? Did you ask for help? Did you ask him to do this? Did you say that to him? Like you mad about it?" And it dawned on me like, because sometimes when we think we're pulling more of the weight, right? We're like,
No,
well,
y'all want us
we
to
can
reach our
see.
mind.
That's what I'm saying, and we feel like we during the time where we're doing that, we feel like we're pulling more weight. Like we watching y'all back on the game, like he ain't doing shit. He see me up here cooking, take care of the kids. I'm trying to watch this. Like I'm in here doing 50,000 things, and it seems like they be back there oblivious to the things that are going on with you and what you got going on, right? Like you putting out fires everywhere, but never do we say, hey, can you come help me with the clothes, or can you like get the kids, or can you like wash the food real quick? Like we never say that. We just get frustrated, like you ain't back there doing nothing, right? Because in our minds that's what we see, but we never say it. And she had to say it. I think that was before we got married, and I was watching like the couples counseling and stuff like that, and she said that, and I was like, true, I did.
Oh, because
I
you had
don't
another
never.
moment too.
When recently?
Yeah, hell yeah, recently.
No, I did
Yeah,
not.
you did. That was the same. It was either the next day, like, yeah, it was the next day or some shit like that. And somebody had called to book an appointment, but I didn't have my phone on me because I was up here playing with Maddox. because you was in there cooking, and you because that's when you made the meatloaf.
Yeah.
And you had a dry ass attitude with me because I did answer the phone because you had to go wash your hands and go answer the phone. But I'm like, bro, you see me playing with Maddox. Like, I'm literally keeping him busy. Like, I had him hella busy
He did have
to where he was like quiet. He wasn't bothering you or nothing. And I'm like, bro, like, I legit didn't have my phone on me. It was after 5 o'clock too. Like,
It
shit.
was.
I didn't care about my phone at that moment because I was trying to keep Maddox chill because you didn't have a long day because you still was recovering from being sick and you didn't get to take your nap that day.
Yeah.
So I was being busy with him, but you was pissed off at me because I didn't answer the phone, but you didn't say nothing about it,
Because
and you
it was
still
at that
didn't.
point, it was because it wasn't even about that. It was I was already on a roll, and I knew I was on a roll, so it wasn't worth it dressing at that time. It just wasn't worth it because it really wasn't about the phone call. I was already mad about something else, so that would just overlap problems
Well, I
that
tell
didn't need
you,
to be had. But
here I am putting out a fire.
listen, but nah, it dawned on me that I hadn't said nothing, and I was doing that for a very long time throughout the relationship. Where I'm like, he lazy, he don't do nothing, right? Like it's just like
And
he
which is
just don't.
cap.
He's not. For the
Like,
record,
yeah,
he's
it
not
be
like that.
cap.
It's just men. But I'm saying from a woman's point of view, that is what we see when y'all back down on the games and we're doing different things around the house, and you just back there not doing nothing. And you're not doing nothing, but you see me doing all these things, and you won't. And I might say, why don't you just help me? But it's like again, like Judge Taller said, you never asked for help, right? Like, and it took that dummy moment for me, like, cause that's what I thought. I was like, stupid. Like, did you? And then you try it. You be like, hey, can you help me with this, or can like you do this? And normally they be like, I like, and move on, and you be and like, so now you realize you've been sitting here teed off, cussing him out in your mind, like, and all you really had to do was say what it is that you needed help
But
with.
some of the time, you would be like that, but then you would come to the back and then you'll realize that I cleaned up like the bedroom and I cleaned up the
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah.
And then it'd be like, oh, ha, Uno reverse card on your ass. You think I'm back here bullshitting because you hear me on YouTube.
Every time
Like,
he be back there being
well,
productive,
yeah, I
it
be being
is,
productive.
and it's just
Like,
being mindful that you can't, and we do that a lot in this house. Everybody read everybody mind. We will finish each other's sentences. Even Santana does it. Like he'll finish a sentence, or like he has it real bad right now talking for his brother. So and like he's going through speech therapy, so we like you gotta let him say it. Like he got to do it on his own. Stop doing that. Like, but we all do it, and Elena had to be like, y'all are still doing that. Like y'all still talk for each other. Y'all kind of read each other's mind. Like y'all get, and that's good. But at the same time, you don't want to be so dependent and unaware that y'all are functioning like that to the point where you start leaving space and a gap for y'all to have a misunderstanding, because that's what it came back to. It ended up just being a misunderstanding, miscommunication, because we
misunderstanding.
didn't, yeah,
Because we
misunderstanding.
didn't miscommunicate. I told you I didn't want to do it. It wasn't a
Yeah, but I
miscommunication.
never said I did, and like I never gave suggestions either.
No,
So the
you gave
communication.
suggestions.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What I say?
The night when we had all of the technical difficulties, you said that either we can redo it the next day, or we can just like whatever you want to do. And my whatever I wanted to do
That's what
was
I'm
I didn't want
saying.
to do
He didn't
it.
want to do it. So that's what I'm saying. It just makes a misunderstanding. So, and it can make a situation worse if you are, like I said, I was upset, didn't know
No,
if
it
he
still
knew
wasn't a
he was.
misunderstanding. You just didn't care about my
Why
feelings
must you just be so combative?
because you didn't care about my feelings.
You said you knew I was upset and you didn't care.
Yes, because I told you I didn't want to do it, but clearly you still wanted to do it, and you didn't
Because
say
you're
that.
affecting my job.
But you didn't say that I'm affecting your job.
That's what I'm saying.
See, miscommunication. Because you asked me what I wanted to do. I told you what I wanted to do, and
I said
clearly
what
that
we
didn't.
gonna do.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
I
say
gave you
you.
my part of what I wanted to do. You didn't care, apparently, because i.e. here we are giving y'all episode 28.
Yeah, I'm sorry we're trying to be focused. I promise.
We
I
are
don't know what he
focused, like we
doing.
giving y'all like valuable because I mean, alright, cause the thing is, like with the podcast, cause we are trying to make it more like husband and wife like wise,
Mm-hmm.
since we are a couple and we kind of sort of we veered a little bit off of talking about like couple situations. And I feel like the conversation we just had was like part of the whole reading each other mind. The thing is, this time we decided to give y'all like a scenario about like something that goes on with us, and that's pretty much what it was. It was like we literally put ourselves in the situation. We pretty much
This
used
is real
ourselves.
life, like for real.
Yeah,
This for anybody that's like, no, we dead ass
like yeah, we
right
did
now.
as used our own situation as a prime example of why you can't read each other mind. Cause she literally thought that no, well, I mean, we did read each other mind. The only difference is when you got two stubborn people, it don't go the way that it's supposed to go.
That's the thing. And so, see, this is why one, you gotta be able to get your own ego. Two, have the Lord in the middle of your in the middle of y'all stuff. Because sometimes it's really him talking to me and be like, girl, just go say what you have to say to that man and like knock it off because you tripping. Right? Like that's what I'm saying. I was for a whole day having this conversation with me myself, did not include him at all. Like he was gonna
2
be
days.
interrupting us. It happened that night. It was that day.
Yeah,
I
but
told
and
you
then
that
the
night.
not the next night, the night afterwards.
Oh. Because why
Cause
would
you
he
didn't
let that
tell
go
me
that
until
far?
Thursday, and we had did the recording like Tuesday.
But why would he let it go that far? That's what I'm saying.
I didn't
No,
let
that was like
nothing.
Wednesday.
No, we did the recording Tuesday, but we didn't talk about it until Thursday.
Nevertheless to say. In my mind, he was interrupting the conversation I was having with me, myself, and I. But then I realized I couldn't get to a resolve unless I said it. And I also was dealing with another problem at the same time. That's not the point, though. But it's addressing the problems. It's like trying to read each other's minds. Now, like I said, I used to do that a lot and didn't, for the God of me, understand. I really just thought it was something wrong with him and his mama had never got him checked out. That's weird. I was like, it's not possible that somebody can be this oblivious to the fact that I'm like you, what's wrong with you? You don't get social cues? Like I would be big
Damn, what
mad
you trying to
about
say? I'm
it.
autistic or something?
Like,
Like, yeah,
I don't
like
know.
no, I hear what you saying. Like,
I was
you
convinced
low
his
key just
mama.
tried to call me autistic. Like, I ain't autistic. I'm an artiste, not an artistic. Two
I
totally
thought his
different
mama was
things.
supposed to be getting
It
a
ain't
check
no
for
Forrest
him.
Gump going on around here.
You can tell me that. Like earlier on in the I really thought his mama was supposed to be getting him a check because it was like it's not a way for him not to understand. And
No, I
men are
just feel
really
like that if you had
preventives,
that big
and
of an
women
issue,
are,
you shouldn't have said something.
but it never occurs because it's like some stuff, like I said, like with the like seeing. I feel like everybody can relate to that. Like women, like we in here, we're doing stuff, we're multitasking, we are doing stuff, and me, y'all be just in y'all own world. And for us on the outside looking in, you just like, well, why? We think, why don't he just help me? Like he see him doing all this stuff. Why don't he just pitch in and like just help? Because that's what we in our minds is what we want, but we're not taught to like, okay, well, you have to say you want the help because
But
it
would
might
it
not, because
stand
he
out the
might
way
just
it
think
is
you.
helping?
And that's what she said too. She was like, sometimes they think the best thing they just out your way that is helping, and it's like, no, I need you to actually pick up something and do something, right? Like I need you to take something off my load while I'm doing other things,
Hard.
and you have to be able to say that. And it didn't occur to me until I think it was like right before the wedding, like during our engagement period, when I came to that revelation, like, oh, well, let me try that. And it worked a lot better doing it that way versus waiting on him to always read my mind. Granted, we still do it a lot because we've been together like a long time. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've been together 10 to 10, 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
So we've been together a long time. So granted, we still do read each other mind a lot, right? Like 9 times out of 10, one of us is gonna pick up where the other one is lacking without us necessarily always having to say something, or it's like, okay, I get you frustrated, I got it, don't worry about it. Or like, okay, he might see me in here flustered doing a bunch of stuff, like he said the other day. He was keeping Magus busy while I was like cooking and like still not feeling well, but I was still doing the things, and it just jumped in because they will. When y'all know each other, you know each other, so like you kind of you get it and you care, but at the same time, like you can't get complacent in that. It was
Mm-hmm.
like, and I had to realize like,
Can't
oh, I'm
always expect
slipping.
somebody to read your mind.
Yeah, because it's slipping into like an old bad habit, and that's what I had told him. I said I feel like I'm slipping back into an old bad habit because I'm just in a rut of like tired of dealing with crap, right? But you can't take that same approach with your relationship. Like you can be tired of dealing with the world and the problems that just with the world, but when it comes to your relationship and your marriage, especially, you have to have that cutoff point where it's like, okay, but this is important enough for me to address, like. I can't ignore it and it's not fair. And I wasn't trying to hold a grudge because I said I stopped doing it. I stopped holding grudges for days and days and weeks because I could. But I understood it's not okay.
I dead ass walked into it though. I mean, because I knew you was talking about me, but I'm like, I
I was like,
mean,
I have a problem.
I'm like, all
I have a
right, what's your
problem.
problem? I'm like, shit, do a live about it. Like,
Yeah, he
like,
wasn't saying. Like,
like, shit. I mean, I knew she was talking about me, part of it, but I'm like, I mean, you ain't tell me your problem about me, so shit, do whatever else you need to do to get that off your
you
chest.
know what I'm
But
saying? Like,
what? I was trying to help.
were you?
Yeah, clearly I was. But like, yeah, I helped her into trying to have some shit with me.
But it the
More
point
of the
is, yeah,
story is
yeah.
you can't. It's okay to read each other mind, but the part about reading each other mind is that some of the time you still gotta talk.
Because y'all are still two different people navigating the world. And your problem is not always his problem. Clearly, is
Or
what we're
your
seeing
problem is
here.
not always her problem.
So that's what that is. Like, it's understanding like y'all are two different people navigating the world. Y'all care about two totally different things. The things that are running through your mind and your problem is not the same things that are running through his mind and
Mm-hmm.
it's his problems. Men think about things totally different, and what they problems are, we ain't even got the mental capacity. Or, like, I don't want that. Like, I don't, whatever he got going on in his mind and his problems that he trying, I don't care. I have my own problems, and that is okay. Like, you have to be able. It comes boils down to communication, but
My problem was why I felt left out.
of what?
Cause everybody been playing Elder Rings this week, and like I'm
Mark
over here
Anthony.
without, so I'm like, bruh, I gotta watch everybody, all the YouTubers play Elden Ring, and then but me, I never even played Elden Rings 2, so that was another reason why I'm like, bruh, like this is a new game I gotta add to my list because this game look pretty cool. Like it looks fun. This look
You know what I'm
like my
saying?
cup of tea. Like
Absolutely nothing.
everybody keeps saying that it's a hard game. I'm like, I'm here for hard games. Pause. But I'm like, I'm gonna have to go now get this bad boy, see what this about. So that's what my problem was.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like,
It
is
was something. It was something to me.
you're right.
Like
You're right. You're absolutely
I didn't
right.
say it was. Well, I did say that was nothing. You having a problem with me.
Exactly what you said. Like, it's exactly actually. So that's is. I just think it happens a lot, and it happens a lot in relationships to where even like when you raising your kids, but it happens a lot when you run your household because y'all start to get into a rhythm and flow of how things go, and then sometimes flows get
Flows is
interrupted.
meant to be interrupted.
Yeah, a rock might be in the way. Like, and if nobody says, "Hey, it's a rock in the way. We need to push it. We need to move it," then nobody knows the rock is there, and now it's a slow breakdown. And then on top of that, you start to resent the other person because, like I said, for women, we're looking at y'all doing absolutely nothing, and now we can't stand y'all. And it's like, well, he ain't never doing nothing. He ain't never helping me. He see all this stuff needs to be done, and he not doing nothing. But we never said we needed help. And I was watching this live on TikTok, and they was like, well, why I got to need help? Why I gotta be able to ask for help? Because baby, you're an adult. That's why you have to ask for help. Like, what are you talking about? If you broke your toe and you couldn't move to drive yourself to the hospital, you're not gonna ask for help for somebody to get you to the
Well, yeah, I
hospital.
wouldn't.
Who ain't? Cause I don't do pain, so might not going to the hospital, but somebody needs to move me off the floor. Mark, don't start. It's coming up on my anniversary, y'all, when I hurt my knee. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's very traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm gonna ask for help. I don't care who's gonna help me. My baby Santana was in here trying to make sure he helped me get off this floor for dear life, and he was trying not to hurt me further. Okay, you need to ask for help because you're an adult, and
Yeah.
people can't read your mind. We're still two different people who navigate the world differently, but we're trying to do it together. We're choosing to do it together. So even if you don't even if you, because for me, bringing it up also was like, I don't feel like arguing about this. And I think for a lot of people, it's like that. It's like, I don't feel like arguing because I knew you was going to take like, it's just a podcast. And like, no, it's bigger. But I also don't feel like it's nothing to argue about.
Yeah.
Right. But in my mind, I turned it into an argument before it ever did. And when I told you about it, it wasn't an argument. We
Oh,
discussed it
because I
when it
wasn't
came
gonna
up
argue with you about the
more.
podcast.
You know,
Like,
it wasn't
well,
about
because
the
if we was gonna argue
podcast.
about it, then I really feel like that we shouldn't do it because I don't feel like that this should be an argument. Especially if this is something that we doing as like an outlet, so we can be able to like talk and have and get shit off our chest.
Yeah.
So if it's gonna be complicated to where we're arguing about it, then I just like make sure that we bow out of it, so we don't. Because I don't think that a podcast should be like that serious to where we arguing about the stuff.
It's not. It wasn't about the podcast. It was about the fact that you do that in everything. For me, this was just a situation. I think people get fixated on it. People get fixated on that one situation, like, oh, it was just this. No, sometimes it's bigger than the situation. It's the action behind it, which is like the frustrating part. So I think I didn't want to argue about that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't feel like arguing about, well, why is that now an issue? Because I'm like, because that's what you would say. Well, I'm like that, so I'm confused. I do that with everything because you do, but it's like, yeah, but sometimes that's just annoying because I don't work like that. And again, because we work together and we live together and we're married, that can become a lot.
That's gonna be a topic on season 2.
It is. But it becomes a lot. So it's like, no, but you do it with everything. And for the most part, it doesn't bother me because I know he's like that. But at certain times, I'm like, I have shit to do and I don't have time for this. Like, because if I was working with somebody else, I would not accept it. Like, you'd be like, I don't really give a shit about your feelings. I'm that type of, that's why I tell people I don't work with my friends. I don't work with my family because the way I'm going to work, you are not gonna like me. Like, and I know that I'm an independent worker. Even when I was working a job, I found a job where I could work by myself because I work differently, right? And so for me, it wasn't about the podcast. It was just about your habit of like mentally checking out when something strictly inconveniences you. It's strictly off of his inconvenience level. Like, that is it. And so I'm like, I don't want to argue about that because I didn't feel like it's a big enough deal to argue about because I know he's like that. And typically I can kind of like roll with it and move on. But I'm like, no, it's irking, and because it can be a hindrance too. Like, I understand that it can be a hindrance, and we business owners, so everything. It's a lot of shit that's gonna inconvenience you. Like,
Yeah.
so that's where I was coming from. Like, I need you to like pay attention to that because we do a lot of business, and most of
Yeah,
the
but
time, it's not always gonna go smoothly.
Yeah, but business wise, like, yeah, I don't like let that get into the way. I handle all the business stuff the way that it needs to be handled, even if I'm pissed off about it or I'm mentally checked out of it. I still can be able to handle it business wise. It just the thing with this whole situation is I just felt like it wasn't that important. I'm not saying that the podcast is not important. I'm just saying that if it's gonna be an inconvenience because we just having too many technical difficulties, then I'd rather just like go on, take the break, and we try to figure out like what's going on with all the issues and problems that we having with the podcast to why I keep messing up, and we just regroup because we was already feeling great to take a break. So yeah, that was my whole thing about that. I forgot that the whole you gotta be able to drop clips. So that was the main thing to
Like I
where
have
it was like,
other work that I had to get done that depended on it. So, and which it always does. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like more so irritated because I just didn't feel like it was that big of an issue. So that's what made me be like, I think I'm slipping back into older habits that are unhealthy because I got past it. Like I said, like I watched it, I started applying that and just asking for help. And then he started being more mindful of, okay, well, she looks like she needs some help, so let me like do this or do that just to help out and understanding like, okay, cool, but life happens. We had just come off being sick. It's been a lot going on this summer, like a lot has been going on with me for this summer. So I'm at a mental checkout almost. So that's why I'm like, sometimes you just want to avoid the argument, but it needs to be said instead of you.
you gotta talk. That's the part
Yeah,
about marriage is communication.
yeah,
More of the story, communication is key when it comes to marriage.
yeah. You have to communicate through it. Don't because it wasn't an argument after the fact. Whether he felt like he was going, I didn't feel like I was going to argue with him. Like I
No, I
would have
wasn't.
just would have been like we both. So coming from that space, and sometimes it's the way you say it too. Like I was like, I don't want it to sound like I'm attacking. Some like I'm trying to say it, because sometimes it's our delivery. So I was trying to make sure I delivered it in a way to where it seemed like I was ready for a fight because I really wasn't. I'm tapped out of fighting with just people in general. So I wasn't trying to make it seem like that. But in my mind, I had already conjured up it was going to be an issue because I had predetermined what his reaction. And it happens because we're human and we've been together a long time. The thing we like since 19. I've been with him since I was 19. So even though he's grown, under wrong circumstances, we all can revert back. That's that's it. Like you can't always. Like I said, I'm reverting back to old things of just trying to avoid a situation, so I'm not talking to folks. That's we can all revert back, and because there's been a lot going on, you never know, so you don't want to assume. So instead of reading his mind and like having, like I said, having a whole argument with myself, literally, I was responding for him in my mind. That's what I'm like. I'm trying to. I was responding for him in my mind. It was a me thing, and I didn't give him a chance to say nothing. Right. So that was the thing, and like it took me back to before we got married, and I remember being frustrated with him for like not helping as much and not doing as much, and it's like, well, again, you never said you needed help, and we
Mm-hmm.
as women find that like such. I don't know what we got a problem with asking for help.
Cause
We
y'all
a lot
think
of
y'all
people ask
strong and
people,
independent women, and that even the whole strong and independent thing leaks over into marriage.
yeah,
So that be the main thing. Y'all feel like y'all can do everything on your own,
yeah,
but it's like that's the purpose of having a husband, a help partner, is because they here to help you. So that be the thing. But everybody get complacent like that, and they want to
mhm.
do stuff on their own. But communication is key, and you can't be sitting there trying to read each other's minds. Some of the time, most of the time, you gotta talk.
Because a lot of guys be like, well, I didn't want to tell you this because I knew you was gonna get mad. You used to say that to me a lot. Well, I know you're gonna yell about it. I know you're gonna be mad about it. It's like you don't know if I'm gonna be mad about it or not. You didn't give me a chance to like react to it.
No, that's true.
So it's like a lot of guys have that notion too. Well, I ain't say this, I ain't do this because I didn't want you to be mad about it. But let her. You can't control how she's going to react about it. Deal with that when you get there. But don't read her mind. Don't tell her how she's gonna feel before it even happens. Especially if y'all both know y'all working on some stuff anyways. Like if you both working on it, give her that due diligence, and then if she goes off the rail and reacts the way you think, that's when you can say, okay, I knew you were gonna do this. This is why, because look at how. So she can take a bigger outlook at herself. Like unless you just with somebody that's toxic, I don't know what to tell you about that. But you know,
Hell nah, man. You better work that shit out on your own in your head. Nah, I'm playing.
I was just like Mark Anthony. Really?
Yeah, some of the time.
No,
Mm.
you should never work it. I don't think you should work it out in your head.
That might be a topic on next season. Never know. But with that being said, I'm Hunt.
We're not gonna do.
Oh, we're not gonna do what?
Well, I guess we talked about the next episode enough.
Well,
I mean,
my
like
bad.
because
We
we're going on
are
break.
going on break. So this is the last episode of this season. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We see
Tell
you
us
guys.
what, like the next. What's y'all been your favorite episode throughout this season?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let us know what's been your favorite episode.
Some topics you might want us to discuss.
For next season.
If you got some questions that you want to get our insight up on, ask them.
You can ask them. Send them to our email, huntlifethepodcast@gmail.com.
Or DM it up on Instagram.
Mac,
the DM work fine. We accept DMs on it.
Yeah, but everybody don't like to do that. People like that.
We not gonna tell your bit. Well, we are gonna tell your business, but we're not gonna like tell who it is. I mean, if you have a problem and you want us to discuss it, you need to be brave enough to tell us. You're already being brave enough to get our insight. So it's like, come on, fam. Don't be that scary. Like, grow up.
Wow.
True.
With that.
Like, yeah, but we here to help, you know.
Are we?
Yes, we are. Like, but
Jesus Christ.
But that whole like trying to be secretive about it, we not gonna like put your name to it. But like, yeah, I get it. I don't. The reason why,
like giving people options. What's wrong with options?
Well, because I feel like that you can be trolling us if you don't put a face. No, I ain't answering no troll type shit. People be making up stuff just so they can see if somebody gonna talk about it, and I ain't here for that. Like, I want to, because that's not helping people.
But that's toxic that you would think that.
I watch it all the time online. Like the whole podcast lady, she do something called "Do You Think I'm an Asshole?" And some of the time, I think some of them stories be capped. So it's like, nah, fam, don't play with me. Like, play with somebody else. Like, we want to actually help people that really want help.
Well, that's how we will filter. We'll filter it through.
True. See, she the nice one. She want to do the filter through thing. But that being said, I'm Hunt.
I'm Kiki.
This is the Hunt Life Podcast. This is the end of season 1. We catch y'all boys and girls on season 2.
Hey y'all.
What's good, people? Before y'all leave, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Oh, and follow us at
Hunt Life the Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button. You can also find me at I'm the Key on Instagram, and you can follow us on Hunt Life Co. on Instagram and TikTok.
And you can find me on Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everywhere. Mr. Hunt Bubbles on everything, and also Hunt Files. And don't forget, if you got any comments or any statements or anything that you want to leave us, you can always find us up on Instagram and Hunt Life the Podcast. Have a great day, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Hunt Life, live dreams.